Welcome to Distilled. I'm your host, Brian Johnson, and today we are joined by Jen Vick. Now, Jen Vick is a host on ShopHQ and occasionally on Bulldog. Hi, Jen.
Hey, how are you, Brian?
I'm good.
Good.
Hey, let's toast. Today's drink is the Rhubarb Gimlet.
Ooh, it looks so good. I'm excited. Cheers.
Cheers.
Ooh.
Oh, that's tasty.
That is really good. That's really, it's like tart and a little bit sweet.
Mm-hmm. It's not too much of either. Really good.
Really good. Ooh, that's delicious. Good recommendation.
Oh, excellent. I mean, the Flying Dutchman.
Never misses. Never misses.
The Flying Dutchman.
Yes.
Now, Jen and I hired in the first day at ShopHQ.
Together, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Literally together.
Yeah.
And
I'll never forget walking in. Are you walking into that meeting room where we first met and seeing you and being like, "Oh, he looks like a nice guy."
ah.
Little did I know.
So, Jen, what led you to be on TV? Like, what did you major in college?
Well, I was a speech communication major in college, so an emphasis in public speaking. So I kind of stumbled upon that major too when I was in school. Honestly, I wanted a fast track out of school. I just wanted to get through it, and I liked public speaking. It was something that kind of came naturally to me, and I actually enjoyed getting up in front of people. So I majored in that, and then I graduated, and I was like, what do I do with this degree? Because it's hard to know what to do, where to go from there. So I kind of just stumbled around for many years, and then came upon ShopHQ and ended up getting hired. Was kind of found by our CEO and then came on board, and kind of the rest is history. So what's funny is that I'm using my degree, my public speaking degree, for the first time in this job ever, and it's kind of fun to a lot of people say, oh, I never used my degree. I can finally say I'm using my degree because every single day I get up in front of millions of people on camera and present products. So it's kind of like, oh yeah, I remember studying this in school, and this is why I loved it. So I feel like I'm really doing what I was meant to do.
Well, it makes sense because you're such a natural fit.
Oh, thank you.
You come across so authentic on air. Like and for those of you that have gotten to see Jen, and if you haven't, you should. It's just like exactly like talking to her in person. Like you're warm and effusive, and you're honest.
Yeah.
You're completely authentic.
Thank you. I think that's why I love it so much too, because I do feel like when I'm on air, I feel like I'm just talking to a friend. I feel like I'm talking to someone behind the camera that, I really want to share this product with them. So it's fun. It's a lot of fun. I love it.
Now, Jen, you grew up here. So 2 questions. Where would you live if you didn't live here? And what's your favorite place to vacation?
Where would I live? It's probably the same place, actually. If I didn't live here, I would live in Florida, and that's my favorite place to vacation. My parents have a condo in Fort Myers, so I go there a lot, and I love the ocean, I love the beach, I love the water, I love the fresh air, I love warm weather. If I never saw another Minnesota winter again, I'd be super happy.
Okay, I've got another question.
Okay.
Now, I don't know, for those of you that have been watching Jen and I when we're on Bulldog together, how was it that you came to grow up in a dive bar?
I did not grow up in a dive bar. Okay, that is so not true. But we had, for anybody that watched the Bulldog from like about 2 years ago, right? We used to have arcades in the Bulldog studio, and when I was a kid, I grew up in the 80s, and so we went to dive bars. We did. I mean, that's just what we did, and there were big arcades where the quarters you plunk them in, and so I grew up like that, and like Pac-Man, all the different video games. So we were playing that in the studio one night, and I said something like, "Oh, this is just like the dive bar I grew up in," and this guy did not let that go. I mean, it went on and on for like 10 minutes on air live, and you were just giving me such a hard time about growing up in a dive bar. I kind of did though. I mean, honestly,
That's what we should start putting on air now. Jen Vick grew up in a dive bar. In parentheses.
Well, our neighbors in my old street that I grew up on, he owned this hamburger joint. It's like a hamburger dive bar place. It's since been torn down, but he owned it. So we would always go in and get hamburgers and french fries and root beers and play video games.
And you've felt comfortable in dive bars ever since.
I really have. I actually really do like dive bars. I'm not kidding. I like them. There's something really like down home about them. I'm not. Yeah, I actually prefer. I mean, I can do classy situations too, but I like a good dive bar.
So Jen, when you're not at work,
Yeah.
how do you like to spend your summer?
Ooh, how do I like to spend my summer? I love being outside, so I love to be on the water. I love being on the water, being on a boat, paddleboarding, being at a beach, anything that involves water and the sun. So I'm kind of a quintessential beach girl. So I always will be. I always have and always will be.
Oh, perfect place for it.
I know.
Well, Minnesota and Florida, like you said, we like.
Yeah, Minnesota and Florida. So I do that with my kids sometimes too. I'll go paddleboarding with my kids. It's a lot of fun. I don't know. I like being outside. I feel like the summer is kind of my reward for getting through the winter, because winters here in Minnesota can be really long and they can be really treacherous and just a little bit. But it's kind of my reward for getting through the winter. So I love kind of being outside and just soaking up the sun and working on my tan all summer. So it's working for me.
It's definitely working for you. All right, Jen, random question. What's on your bucket list?
On my bucket list. Ooh. Okay, so I haven't officially written down my bucket list yet. That's on my list of things to do this year.
Is to write down your bucket list?
It's to write down my bucket list. So on my bucket list is to write down my bucket list. But in my head, what I really want to do, there's a couple things that are kind of in my head that I want to do. I would love to, I've never been to Europe, so I'd love to go to Italy, and I'd love to just stay at a little B&B and drink wine and have bread and all the yummy food and just kind of go around, not really the touristy places. I kind of want to just be in the backcountry of Italy. I think that'd be really pretty. Go to vineyards and stuff. And then another thing on my bucket list, I want to ride in a really, really fast boat, on the ocean somewhere. Just really, really fast boat. Like
a cigarette boat.
Yes, like a speed boat, like a cigarette boat, a performance boat. I want to just get out there and ride in one. I just think it'd be really fun. I like speed.
What if you got to ride on a cigarette boat and it arrived at a dive bar in Italy?
Oh, in Italy?
Mm-hmm.
Day made. Life made. I mean, that would cross off 4 things off my list.
Boom. Duly noted.
All right, duly noted. All right, anybody out there?
Jen, what's your favorite part of working here?
I love the energy of live TV. I never knew how much I loved it until I started doing it. I've done some commercial work before, so I've done a lot of taped things, pre-produced pieces, but I really had never done anything super, super live. I did a lot of Facebook lives and a lot of kind of mini little live things, but never live TV. So I love the energy of it. I love the energy of live TV. I love the people that we get to work with. We have an amazing host group at the network. Incredible crew behind the scenes that nobody ever sees, and really they're the heroes of the entire network because they make everything happen. So I don't know, I guess the energy and also the people that we work with. I feel like we have a lot of really great quality people, the guest hosts, all the crew members, the directors, the producers, and then all of our fellow hosts. It's a really good place to work. It's a great place to be, and I'm really happy to be here.
Could you be any more positive? No, I
can try.
No, I agree. Live television, there's nothing like it.
I know.
It's like working with lightning. And the funny thing, Jen and I, when we've been on air together, we tend to crack each other up.
Oh my gosh.
There's been some times where we get tickled and we can't. One of us has to take over while the other one walks away or something.
Oh, I've had to walk off set and just be and leave poor Brian out there by himself, just all alone doing the presentation. I just walk away because I can't just be doubled over on air, But what's your favorite part? What about you? What's your favorite part of working?
I have to agree. The live aspect of
it,
I hadn't got to do that.
No, I know.
I was an actor for years.
Yeah.
Never did any live television.
Yeah.
And it just, it brings an energy out that just doesn't exist otherwise. And then it's funny too, we're talking with Christopher Straub the other day, and you can't just go home and go to bed after air. What do you do to wind down?
I'll usually, when I get home, I'll usually wash my face, take the day off my face and kind of take my makeup off and everything, get into cozy clothes, and then usually I'll pour a glass of wine, just like a little glass of wine, and just kind of sit and relax. I usually don't watch a show or anything. I kind of just sit in the quiet, which sounds kind of weird, but I just sit.
No, that sounds amazing.
Yeah, I just sit and kind of, because all day you've had people in your ear all day or all night.
Mm-hmm.
Even if you're on air till midnight or 1 o'clock in the morning, you've got people in your ear, so you can't just go home and go to bed. You're kind of like on. So I like to just go home and kind of just sit down and relax, light a candle maybe, and just have a little glass of wine and think about the day, and kind of, I kind of do like a little game tape. Like I kind of watch my day back in my head. Like, how did my day go? What did I do that I would have done differently? What did I do that I'm happy about, what I did? And so I kind of just do that. So that's kind of what I do.
Leave it to Jen Vick to answer a question and then give life advice. I think we could all be served better by doing a little game tape of our day with a candle and a glass of wine. Cheers.
Yeah, thanks.
I'm Brian Johnson, and this has been Distilled, and I want to thank Jen Vick for joining us.
Thank you for having me. This is super fun.
Always a good time.
Cheers.